waiting for everyone to arrive. Let's go outside the temple and see who arrives. Hey, Pups, good to see you here.
Hello there.
Perhaps it's time that we should just begin. Yeah, I guess no one else is here. How about we do a little entry ritual? So, for anyone who's out there on the temple, just invite you to decide. This is some time to be awesome. You want to make your life more awesome. You want to be more happy or content. You want to end some suffering. Dedicate that you're going to do some self-transformation right now. You're going to be as present and as empowered as you can possibly imagine. And even if you're not feeling like that now, set the intention. You just keep holding your mind on that, and you'll be more and more of that. Present, empowered, transformative thoughts, transformative moments. So I've decided to make today's session going back to the foundations. Watching our mind, being mindful. You know, it's all well and good that we can cultivate, we can grow more patience, more kindness, more confidence, more happiness. But if we're not watching what we're thinking and choosing to feel and putting our attention on, you could be feeding yourself all kinds of positivity while also unintentionally feeding yourself all kinds of less helpful thoughts, feelings and beliefs. So the practice we're going to do today is to really just learn to see everything that you're believing, everything that you're thinking, everything you're focusing on. Not only be able to see that, but also to calm it. Just empowering your own mind. So, to those of you out on the live stream, here in the temple, we're going to jump straight into a meditation to experience what I'm talking about. So if you haven't meditated before, I invite you just to get comfortable. We're going to do a guided meditation. There'll be some times of silence. And in the silence, it's just time for you to watch your mind. It's a chance for you to learn what is happening inside your mind. And also to be just more aware, more present. So let's all get ourselves comfortable. Conscious Buddha has just jumped on the live stream and says hi, everyone. So we're going to just dive straight into our guided meditation. Let's feel our bodies. Close your eyes. And just notice what it's like to be you right now. What do your thoughts sound like? What do you feel like? Where's your attention? So an untrained mind can then just get caught up in whatever thoughts come or go. Whatever catches your attention, you're off on that train. But we can train ourselves to be able to step back from any things that just arise in your mind and just observe it, to become free from the mental habits and the old beliefs. So I invite you just to keep watching. So we've started a mindfulness meditation. I invite you just to join straight in. Now, just watching our mind can be one practice. But with certain intentions and certain shifts in focus, we can also change our state of mind. So, let's start to do that. With your eyes closed and your body relaxed. Just notice the way your breathing feels. And there's something really powerful about changing our breathing. So I invite you to make each breath flow a little more easily and feel more at peace, more relaxed. Part of the wonderful thing in meditation is learning how to make that focus more powerful and grow whatever you choose. So if I say take a relaxing breath, an untrained mind could do that, feel a little bit of relaxation and then start thinking other stuff, or the focus will be somewhere else. But imagine if you just kept your awareness in feeling at peace, and every breath felt even more at peace. Every moment of the breath, you could just craft it to be blissful, easeful. And this very act of noticing your mind and choosing to go more into whatever you're choosing to focus on, that is so empowering for your consciousness. All we're doing now is just peaceful breaths. Learning how to keep your experience into more and more peaceful breaths. You're giving yourself a beautiful gift. Try taking some intentionally deeper breaths and just enjoy how it feels, especially as the lungs fill up the most. And then again, just as we started, just going to notice how your mind feels now. You might like to imagine if every day, throughout the day, if you crafted the state of mind, what would you like to shape your consciousness to be? Your moment to moment. Would you like it to feel easeful, relaxed, effortless, happy, loving, powerful, caring, patient? As you continue to just breathe and feel each moment, imagine that you are practicing this beautiful state of consciousness, not just for now, but forever. You could imagine, you could understand that practicing how you feel, shifting how you are in each moment, is a gift you can keep giving yourself forever. You could even see how all moments have come from something people have put their attention into, things they've believed or told themselves. And with an empowered understanding, you could know that from now on you will choose your moments. Peace, bliss, ease, strength. Perhaps you can feel a shift in how you think about yourself, your feelings, your consciousness. And then we're going to let the positive feelings, the nice states of mind, let that just continue to improve by itself. And you can practice that at any time you want. We're going to shift our attention now to watching our attention, to purifying our consciousness. You can probably see that in your mind there's thoughts and feelings and images and ideas and things happening. And as we practice really intentionally crafting our attention, we can let go of all of that activity and come into this state of freedom. So we're going to do a very simple exercise to practice watching our attention and refining this laser-like focus. So I invite you to bring your attention onto your breath. And I want you to start to imagine, what if you made your breath your whole experience? You were just feeling the breath. That's all you felt, just captivated by the breath. Like when someone's reading a book or playing a video game or in a movie, they're just completely in that world, everything else disappears. I invite you to feel your breath with that same immersive intensity. And you are creating this attention, you're creating this mental tool. So keep watching each moment and guiding yourself more and more fully into just feeling the breath with your whole self. We're going to bring more of our senses into the breath. So as you keep feeling the breath, you can also hear the breath. And you may notice that to listen to the breath carefully, your spatial attention is looking into your nose. Just really putting your attention where that sound is coming from. So we're going to hold our attention on that point. Hear the breath, feel the breath, laser-like focus. Hold yourself in that point. Each moment you're aware, you become more completely focused. You're watching how you hold your attention there. You're watching how everything else just disappears. Feeling your consciousness getting bigger, stronger. in the silence, aiming to stay in that point of awareness for every moment. But also, if you need to, catching anything else that happens as fast as you can and letting it go as instantly as possible, and recreating that focus as completely as you can. And then we can rest our attention just for a moment. So we're going to feel the motivation, and we're going to appreciate the benefit. Whatever you just practiced, you will now be more present in any part of your life. You'll be able to more quickly notice thoughts or beliefs that don't serve you, and just completely step back into being present and free. Imagine a mind that had mastered this. Every thought, just bringing yourself more into the temple, bringing yourself deeper and deeper into meditation. And so as we continue to imagine that mind, those mastered mindfulness, you could imagine moving through your day with this peace and presence anywhere and everywhere. Imagine what it would be like if every thought and feeling that you gave yourself was the most awesome that you could imagine. If you ever noticed a feeling or a belief that wasn't great, you let it go. And you chose the attitude or the belief that would be most wonderful. So we're going to step back into just pure breathing. With each moment of the breath, have this motivation for pure consciousness. Every moment of the breath, training your awareness, training your focus, letting go of everything that's unenlightened. Each moment that you need to bring in more attention, more dedication, more bliss, more drive to craft your focus. That's wonderful. Just give each moment of your consciousness all the love, all the strength, all the attention you can imagine. While also crafting those moments to feel how you would like to feel forever. Easeful, relaxed, transform effort into inspiration. Just feeling the breath, hearing the breath, single-pointed focus, crafting pure consciousness. soon we will come from the meditation into the discussion. And I invite you for the last part of this meditation to bring preciousness. Here is a chance to lovingly give all your future selves more peace, more ease. Whatever you'd like to bring into your consciousness, give each moment of the breath all of that love and intention. And for the next few breaths, you can bring yourself from the meditation back into the room. You could be noticing how you feel. You could be experiencing what you learned or what you practiced. So mindfulness, or refining your own consciousness, could seem very much like a solitary practice. But I just wanted to point out that when we meditate with others, so many of us find that that helps us go deeper into meditation. It's like collectively improving our consciousness. And not only is it nice during the meditation, but then if you have friends or community that is more aware, the conversations can be more aware. The support and kindness can be more wonderful. Noticing unhelpful beliefs and helping liberate each other is something possible as we have mindful friends. Kindness and compassion meditation can beautifully enrich ourself and our community. So I want to say thank you all for being here in the temple. 5 of you here and the 5 of you out on the live stream. I really appreciate sharing these moments with you. And I hope, as well as appreciating the gift you just gave to your own mind, that you also feel that it's a shared experience with all the people here. And also, any peace that you cultivated, any happiness or well-being will also be shared with the people that you speak to later. The people who you just share space with. They'll feel that you're feeling more content or at ease. So the things that you practiced, it's not just for you. You actually practice it in a way that it automatically shares out to the people around you. The conscious Buddha has just said, thank you for another insightful meditation to be in the present. Yes, truly, every present moment is all we actually ever have. It's this moment right now, and this moment right now, and this moment right now. And if in each moment you choose your consciousness, if you did that in every moment, you'll be progressively more enlightened forever. So thank you for the appreciation and the comment, Conscious Buddha. So I wanted to take today just wherever each of you wanted to take it. I'm just going to open it up to questions or reflections. Some things you might ask or share may take me off on a little lesson here or there, but mostly I wanted this to be for you. In the Discord, I invited everybody to bring their questions about mindfulness, about meditation practice, about how you'd apply it to different parts of your life. So if anyone would like to share something nice from the meditation we just had, or if anyone has any questions, now it's open to everybody. If you've got the beginning of an idea or a question on your mind, please just try and share it or ask it, because it'll become clearer as you talk about it.
My mind is empty personally.
Wonderful. There are people who meditate for decades to try and get to that point. I like to think that the way that I guide is intentionally crafting that we can get there right now. It's not some far off goal. But yeah, there are styles where people take a long time to get to that stillness and emptiness. Gengar, have you got something you'd like to ask or share?
Oh no, it's just easier for me to hear when I move up closer. Sorry.
I think you can select me and turn the volume up on me.
Yeah, I've got you cranked up as high as you go. And my headset's cranked up as high as it goes too, so I apologize.
No worries. No. Come on over. Let's have a party. For people on the live stream, Gengar's just chilling out right on the corner of the stage here, like one of the little devout monks in some of those temples. Does anyone else have something they'd like to ask or share from this session, or about meditation in general? Lord Kirov has shared, I wish I could ever have an empty mind. Are you asking about one moment of stillness, or are you asking about stillness forever? So I'm going to start with assuming you're asking about having some moments of stillness. So the mind works really well at reinforcing what you're already believing. And I would love to encourage you to appreciate the moments of stillness that you have. In the breathing meditation we just had, maybe the first time I said, feel your breath, maybe there was half a breath where you were like, just breathing before you started thinking about what's going on. And then maybe as we were sitting for longer, you had a little moment of stillness before your mind went off somewhere else. Or maybe you just kept coming back to it. You had a half a second here, half a second here, half a second here, 5 seconds here. And if you keep appreciating those moments of stillness, you'll get more and more of them. And the more you envisage, oh yeah, that did feel peaceful, then you'll be able to envisage experiencing that longer and experiencing that deeper. And as your brain models that, your experience will then do more of that. Some of you may have noticed that after the meditation, when I ask people to share, I'm very careful to encourage us to share the positive things we had. I've been to some meditation groups where straight afterwards, everyone's sharing how they didn't meet their expectation of perfect stillness. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to say like the stuff they say, but some of you might have also experienced that. It's common in some meditation circles for everyone to talk about not having the stillness. And I've seen in those communities, people tend to just have more and more of not stillness. As you can see, even when I'm telling this story, I'm still phrasing it as stillness because that's what I want us to cultivate. Messiah Aisha has just shared that meditation is like a muscle in the brain. It takes practice and devotion, and eventually it gets stronger. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to say to Lord Kirov. Giving yourself the appreciation of all those still moments, they will then grow, and the more often you practice it, the stronger that stillness muscle will become. You'll learn to let go of that thing, and let go of that thing. You'll learn to more fully feel the breath. You'll learn to remember a meditative state and just step into it. It's actually many muscles, all these different skills that come together to be able to craft beautiful states of consciousness. And the more you practice it, the stronger they all get. And you also work out things you weren't expecting. Maybe just really putting your mind in the spot where you hear the sound is something you never would have thought of. But then when you notice that your mind is in that spot, there's the focus. Or maybe you'll notice that it works really well for you to strongly come back into focusing. Or maybe you'll notice it works really well for you to feel easefully present. As you keep practicing, you'll find how you can guide your consciousness more powerfully. And as you look more and more closely, you see subtle changes or subtle differences or different things to focus on, and you become the master of your mind. I hope you can all relate. If you're thinking of someone learning to be an artist, they don't just draw a picture. They learn to master the different equipment they have. They learn how to draw faces and hands. They learn landscapes. They learn how to put different kinds of feelings in. It's subtle. The same with someone becoming a musician or a computer programmer or a mathematician or a singer. Just like you can focus on all the little subtleties in these different skills. The same's true with watching your mind. Most of us haven't learned to look so closely at our mind, so we're just like, I hope I can be still. But actually, if you look really closely, there's some different thoughts and some different feelings, and this is how your attention moves, and this is where you guide your attention. All these little subtleties, as you learn to see them, and you learn to then choose how you want them to be. It's your path to mastering your consciousness. Sigma? Thanks.
How's it going? I've not done this for a long time, and then
Welcome
I
back.
just did
You
it for the
changed your
first time
name.
since before Christmas. Summer.
It's good to have you back.
So, did it change?
Oh, well, as soon as I heard your
So,
voice,
like, I was
I
sitting
remembered
in,
you.
Yeah. I always seem to have something to say after the meditation. I was pretty chirpy. But, like, I was sitting in, like, effectively darkness with my eyes closed, and I was focusing on the breathing. And you was talking about the stillness and bringing your focus to the breathing and not really listening to the other thoughts that come in, try to isolate that. And then I got the idea in my head about, like, my mind's always, moving, how am I supposed to ignore that? And then my mind's eye, like, opens up and I can see two balls. And they're like, it's got jagged outlines, and although I couldn't see it, but I could see it, like all these colors coming off of these balls, and there's like the jagged outlines. It looks like a psychedelic rock video. And then it became one ball, and then it was like colors coming off, and then it looked like a planet sitting in the clouds, and it's all in motion in my mind's eye. It's like this massive vision, and I'm thinking, like, it was peaceful. I can hear the music. I'm listening to your voice. And it was pure tranquility. Like, I felt bliss, but at the same time, in my mind's eye, I can see this amazing thing happening. But, like, it was still, like, calmness, but, like, not in a way.
Intense calmness.
So freaking profound, right? Like, so profound. Like, what the...
Beautiful.
Not felt that for a long time, or connected to that or anything, since probably before Christmas sessions.
I wish there was a way that we could scan
far
people's brains and we can see the different visions that people have. Because I'm sure what you just saw is more intense than the words you just shared with us. I'm so glad that you got to have that experience.
I don't know what that is, but in your mind, it's pretty amazing. Like, whoa.
My skeptical, practical understanding of what it is that, when you're dreaming and when you sleep, your mind's free to just do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in meditation, you've calmed your conscious mind, so you've got a lot more mental potential, and you've primed yourself up with, like, positivity and interesting ideas. So it's easy to just dive into a super inspired, beautiful daydream.
It's always been my whole life. Like, whenever I close my eyes like a child, before all the fluoride and everything got done, like, whenever I went to bed, maybe I was like 4 or 5, and I closed my eyes, I used to see, like, what looked like rocks changing colors. It's kind of the same thing, and I'm pretty sure it's like the mind's eye, like your internal visualization.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, it seems to be something throughout my life. When you close your eyes, like, you can sort of see something with your mind. It's wild.
Some people have very vivid visual internal experiences, some not. But yeah, Messiah just mentioned that as we go into meditation or into sleep, that our brainwave frequencies change. So yeah, going into a meditative state can make you much more open and susceptible to having those kind of visual experiences. And as you just said, it's profound and beautiful. I'd also like to suggest sometimes when you're doing single-pointed, focused breathing, set the intention that if anything comes up, whether it's a passing thought, some feeling or some sound, you're just going to come back and feel the breath, hear the breath more. If you start having a wild vision, you're going to try and see the breath more. You're actually practicing purifying the consciousness. Right now, this is what you've chosen, and you're going to make your consciousness more present and powerful than anything else. So yeah, something for you to decide.
You talked in the past about maybe the breath isn't the point of focus, maybe it's something else. And for me, I think like a few sessions back, I started to think about maybe it's my consciousness in front of me or something like that. Because that's pretty strong for me.
Breath is just one possible focus. I like it because we're always breathing, and also because it's a chance for your mind to do nothing. And so the practice of just letting go of everything, just no matter what comes up, you can let go of it. That seems like just breathing is one of the best ways to be able to just let go of everything else. Lou, one other response to what Sigma said, and then it's your turn. So Sigma, you also said you had this thought of, oh, well, your mind's always moving. I want to say that, like I said to Lord Kirov, we can have moments of stillness, and the more we envisage having a mind that is really still, and the more we practice it, we can actually get into stillness that lasts long, that's sustained, where just feeling pure consciousness, just being present, seeing every little subtlety of your mind and just being able to let it go, so your space of freedom just fills more and more of your consciousness. It's definitely possible. So
yeah, I did feel like that. Like it didn't matter what cropped up in force, it was easily dismissed because I was focusing. It was working like that, definitely.
Oh, wonderful.
Like,
cool.
I was having little thoughts crop up. Yeah. I wasn't struggling with that. It was actually working very well.
Nice. All right, Lou, you had something you wanted to ask or share?
Can we keep our id, ego, and superego, at least while we're on Earth?
So those terms are used differently by different groups of people. Can you ask?
It's a trilogy, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you want to tell us which specific thing you're asking about? Yeah.
I don't think I'm at the brain capacity to be able to expand upon it, but
Okay.
it's a Google search away.
Yeah, as I said, lots of people...
Or a 4-minute YouTube video.
Lots of people think of them as different things.
There you go. He's writing it down.
Can we keep our ego?
Yeah, that's what the superego is all about. Is just like seeing yourself in 5 years, give or take, and keeping that in mind, I guess. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to have you back. Yeah, so I guess my main thought in response to that is that concepts like this is somebody's construction. They're not actually real. If you think about certain constructions enough, you start to see through that lens. And sometimes those lenses are very helpful. Sometimes they're a mix of helpful and also distracting. And sometimes these lenses are... Oh, he left the instance. So yeah, I encourage us to try to find the concepts about our mind that are most empowering and easiest to work with. That would be my response to that question. So yeah, Messiah just said ego and superego is Jung's ideas, and Freud and Nietzsche's influence. Yes, but I've also seen so many other people throwing those terms around. That's why I'm hesitant to answer it, because when ideas mean different things to different people, just the term ego just means so many different things to different people, and some of those are positive constructions and some of those are not helpful. So I prefer not to do stuff when people will think the words mean very different things. Oh, you point out me talking about conscious and subconscious. I guess do I need to define that? Conscious to me is the things that you're aware of, and subconscious is just everything else. And one thing I'm amazed by is the more we practice breathing meditation, I was mentioning that we're able to see subtler parts of what our mind's doing. And that certainly gets to a point where you will notice thoughts being constructed, or you will notice how your attention moves here and here. Things that in the past would have just been subconscious. You would have just ended up with this feeling. But then now you've learned to see how your mind constructed that feeling, and perhaps you got to direct it before you got into that feeling. So mindfulness meditation actually helps us be more empowered with our subconscious. It brings subconscious things to the conscious. And when I think of a completely mindful mind, I'm imagining you get to a point where almost nothing is subconscious. Sure, you could keep breathing and pumping your heart without needing to pay attention. But if you choose to put your attention on it, you can slow your heart rate down. You can shift your breathing. You can change the temperature in your body. You can shift your mood. You can shift the tone of your inner voice. You can create powerful feelings and beliefs about yourself that are awesome. You can fully let go of beliefs that aren't helpful. So yes, when I'm saying a fully mindful mind, I am implying mastery of the conscious and subconscious mind. Lord Kirov, welcome back to the temple. Great to see that you've fixed your headset. We've missed you. Not sure if your mic is meant to be off. Can't hear you if you tried to say something. All right. Yes, please.
I've been reading the Dhammapada recently, and it's beautiful.
For anyone who doesn't know, the Dhammapada is a book, writings from the Buddha. It was written down a long time after he passed away, but it's many sayings that are supposed to be wisdom for life, for awareness, for emotions, for dealing with the world. Do you want to tell us about some of the things you found most beautiful or helpful?
The story of the musician who went out to meditate, but went to the extremes. That one was nice. Middle Path, I think it was called.
You know, it's been a decade or two. I don't actually remember that story. Would you like to tell us the story?
I'm not great at recounting these things, but
All right, something for us to check out if anyone's interested. The musician story in the Dhammapada. Lord Kirov, I heard your microphone. Hey, you're back. Welcome.
Hey, there we go. I thought I had it fixed. Now I do. Apologies for being late. I had meetings today.
So Messiah has just shared, when you like a flower, you pluck it. but when you love a flower, you water it daily. It's a beautiful quote. Yeah, I hope we take that same attitude of kindness to everyone around us. Never using it, always caring and helping and improving those around us. I have a thought around the middle way. Mother's Milk shared that story. One concern I have with the concept of the middle way is that everything's relative. So at the time of the Buddha, some people would go out, sit in the forest, cover themselves in mud and starve themselves as part of their spiritual devotion. And then there were other people who were completely indulgent for how it was at the time. They probably had access to less food and comfort than any person does today, but they were being as indulgent as they could. And Buddha went and tried both of them. Neither of them brought him the peace and enlightenment that he was after. And his middle way was to let go of those extremes and cultivate some other things. But my concern with the idea of the middle way is that, as I said, it's relative. So what your extremes might be may be very different to the extremes of the people in your life or the extremes of the people in my life. So I actually prefer to ask myself the question, not relative to anything else. If I was just designing, what would be the wonderful way to live, a wonderful way to feel? What would that be? And if having compassion for all beings, some people think that's extreme, but I think a world where everyone loves and cares about everyone is a better world, I'm going to do that. And yeah, so I was talking about different concepts give us different lenses. So this lens of the middle way sometimes can be helpful and sometimes not. So I invite you to use that lens carefully. I think one way that it can almost always help is to remember people of very different perspectives and have more understanding and be able to communicate more widely to people coming from very different places, and to be a bridge builder. All right, I would like us to have a little more time in mindfulness. How often we practice watching our consciousness very much affects how deep our stillness is. Oh, I'll just read Mother's Milk's message first. The story is about Sona, who enjoyed playing the veena. Sona decided to throw everything he owned away and went out into the forest barefoot. Rock and roll, man. So yeah, when I started my spiritual journey, many of the different groups I was in preached some kind of poverty as rightness. Buddhist monks often own nothing. The Bible says, be like the birds. Just trust that nature will give you your seeds, and spend all your time bringing everyone into kingdom of heaven on earth. And I did that for a decade or two. And I had some wild adventures, and I think I helped a lot of people. But I don't think that was the optimal way to help the planet. So, yes, these ideas of giving away everything and going out into the forest, while they might seem like ancient things, we don't have many sadhus in the Western world anymore. Those concepts are still there. And even if you're not living in poverty as a monk, you may still ask yourself, what different beliefs do you have that push you in one direction or another? Messiah just wrote, do we own our mobile phones or do they own us? Something to be aware of in terms of the lifestyles we lead and the things that we do, which things empower us, which things help us, and which things guide us in such a way that's not helpful. Likewise with mobile phones, it's also belief systems. Some of them we have and they help us, and some of them they have us and they trap us. And ultimately, I hope every one of you gets to choose the kinds of states of mind and beliefs and thoughts that would be best for you in every moment. So I said we were going to start meditation. I'm just waiting for Mother's Milk to finish typing about the story, and we'll begin the meditation then. So Sona's feet bled while he was out in the forest. The Buddha came to him with a detuned veena and asked Sona to show him how to make music with it.
It's basically after that he tried to play the instrument, and Sona said, you can't play music like that, it's detuned. And the Buddha tuned it to the extremes, and yeah, it's basically just like finding that sweet middle ground. Tuned.
Yeah. I really like the idea of calibrating our mind, shifting up more happiness, more openness, more carefulness, more excitement, more refinedness, and just like tuning an instrument, calibrating how we want our mind to be is wonderful. And Messiah said, if we lose it, it won't play, and if it's tightened too hard, the strings snap. Then Buddha realized the middle way. Yeah. Okay, so welcome everybody. We started with a awareness meditation, then we've had a discussion, and we're about to dive back into another awareness meditation. And I was saying that the more often we practice watching our mind, the more empowered we become. Before we dive into the meditation, I'm just going to slow my voice down a little bit, give you more times to imagine what I'm talking about. So I want you to imagine if throughout the day you just kept checking in with yourself and relaxing your whole body. And throughout the day you check in and you give yourself a smile. And throughout the day you'd see the things you tell yourself and the things you believe. And if there was anything that was really helpful or positive, you'd double down on it. Yeah. And if there was some belief you have about yourself or about others, if that's not helpful, if it doesn't make you feel good, if it's not accurate, you could just completely let go of that. You just like breathe it away. You've learned this escape valve for your mind. So imagine if you just move through your day, just continually bringing yourself more peace and happiness and strength and awareness. So with that idea, we're now going to step into this guided meditation. So I invite everyone to close their eyes. And that idea of just stopping through the day to give yourself positivity and ease. Just, you're giving yourself one of those moments right now. Maybe you can drop your shoulders and feel them relaxed. Maybe you can take a deep breath, fill up the lungs, down into the belly, let your chest and your torso relax. You'll feel your hands and your feet, and your arms and your legs. Give yourself a little smile. I'm giving myself a moment to just feel good. And the good feelings, they're going to go out through into my day. That's a nice idea. And if you've done mindfulness meditation before, if you've done single pointed awareness, I invite you to remember the times where you were most immersed, the longest time of stillness, what it felt like to be completely in the breath, like everything else had disappeared, just pure consciousness. Or if you're newer to meditation, maybe you could imagine what it would be like. What if your body just felt like it disappeared and everything else just felt like it disappeared and you were just left as pure consciousness. Just you and your breath. You're just seeing the beauty of your own awareness in its most glorified, wonderful sense. As you keep imagining that, you may notice that you become that. So just keep breathing and imagine it's just you and your breath and this sense of infinite spaciousness and ease. And if you're newer to meditation, you might like to just watch how you guide your attention. The goal right now is to be feeling your breath and seeing your breath. I'll be quiet for a little while, and I want you to make every moment just hearing the breath, feeling the breath. Feel that spot where the breath goes in and out of the nose. Now stay in that spot. So I'll be quiet for a couple minutes while you just learn how to stay in that spot. You might like to think of this as like weightlifting. You're making your mind stronger and stronger. Or you might like to think of this as like letting go of weights. Every moment that you notice your mind do something, you just let it go. Making yourself lighter and lighter. Take a few deeper breaths. Let your body and your mind relax. Intentionally feel the peace feeling more and more easy. There's a part of you that could understand being mindful in every moment. Wow, I choose every thought, every feeling. I choose what I believe about me. Let that ripple through your whole self. Any deeply held beliefs that hurt or are unhelpful, just imagine them just being shaken out, just let go of. As you breathe into your whole self, being at ease, being at peace. Imagine if, when you see a thought or feeling that's not helpful, that feeling of letting it go, sometimes it's not just letting it go for now. It could be letting it go forever, completely. Now imagine everyone else who's meditating with us. Some of you might have thought of the people in the temple. Some of you might have thought of people meditating all around the world right now. Some of you might have thought of people meditating anytime today or this week or throughout time. Some of you may have thought of the different styles of their meditation. Some of you may have felt the different positive states they get into. Some of you may have experienced the ease. So as we just think about everyone that's meditating, I invite you to experience the best things that your mind can tap into, and also feel your positive intention that you wish for you to have ease and happiness and empowerment, but wish that for everybody, and make it a positive feedback loop. The more you send out that positive intention, the more you envisage it, the more it becomes part of you, and then you can shine out more and receive more. Tazimo's just written on the chat, Namaste, I hope you're all well. I honor the wonderful goodness inside you all. And just imagine all of those positive intentions. Every meditator, if they were to think of you, how much they would wish for you. The kinds of things they'd wish for you. And as we start coming from the meditation, just let yourself enjoy whatever goodness you experienced. Perhaps there was a new perspective or an empowering approach from today. Feel it stronger. Internalize it more powerfully. Maybe there was a beautiful moment or some really nice feelings. Revisit them. Bring all the goodness that you cultivated, that you practiced, that you considered. Bring it from the meditation into the temple. Bring it from the temple into yourself. Bring it into your day. Bring it into how you think about yourself, how you move through the world, how you relate to others. Let's just really envisage taking all the best of this into every aspect of yourself and your life. We're going to move from the meditation into a sharing and into a dedication. So if you have any nice feelings, or ideas, or anything you'd like to share, we'll just have a little moment to share.
It's more about my vision.
Sure. Bring it
I
on.
realized more. So like first of all, I see these two balls, right? And they're kind of like red and black. And it's my eyes. Like first of all, I see with my eyes. And then they got jagged edges around. And those jagged edges form lines that shoot into the middle of the vision. And then the middle of the vision expands into this ball. That's my mind's eye. So it's like switching from my eyes to my mind, and I've realized it, and I could literally illustrate it. I'm gonna make a picture of this. It's gonna be really cool.
Beautiful.
I don't know whether to try to animate it or just make it a painting, but I'm gonna show you this. This is so cool. I'm really happy.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to post it on the Discord on his.
Please tag me when you do. Would anyone else like to share a moment or a thought or affirm something?
When I've never truly meditated before. It's something that I've wanted to try and do. So when I closed my eyes, I felt like I needed to let go of everything. It just made me think of like a cloud. And made me think about like, why do clouds turn to storm? Why does it rain? Or why is it just like some small clouds and certain it's cloudy?
I think my internet broke up a little bit. Could you say that last bit again, please?
Like so I felt like a cloud floating. And it made me question inside of myself, like, what makes a cloud become a storm? Or why is it, like, partly cloudy some days, clear skies, cloudy then?
How did that feel?
Felt relief. That make about cycle, but it's unpredictable.
it's not directly related, but we have some recorded meditations. Well, I have some recorded meditations on my channel. Some I've done here in the temple and some just throughout my journey, that relate to clouds and stillness and the mind. So if you wanted to, you could look up the lake meditations, and it looks at like storms that come and go, but finding that unshakable stillness inside yourself. Perhaps that's something you want to check out. Would anyone else like to share or make an affirmation or ask a question before we wrap up?
Well, you were talking earlier about focusing on the points of calmness, letting those kind of using those as seeds to grow it, get it easier to go. Not sure why, but I had never thought of that before. I always thought of thinking of other moments as distraction. For some reason. So I was trying that with the second meditation. Really well.
Wonderful. So yeah, ultimately we want to be just breathing. So as your meditation practice progresses, I hope you are not still doing that. But having that as an ongoing attitude of just remembering and appreciating the good moments makes them grow. And if you can step back into them during your meditation, and they're seeds to give yourself more of it, awesome. I'm glad that was helpful. So I'd like to just wrap up today's session with a dedication. So we talked about mindfulness, cultivating peace, cultivating awareness. We talked about creating a mind that's always mindful. What would it be like to have this ease and stillness all the time? What would it be like if you just saw any thought or feeling as it was arising, and you only gave your attention and your feelings to the ones you choose, and you just let go of everything else? And this is a possible state of mind that people can get to. If you practice half an hour or a couple of hours a day, you'll be surprised how wildly you can increase this awareness. And if you combine it with intentionally practicing kindness or peace or moments of stillness, it's a superpower. And so I invite you to make some kind of dedication, the things you learned tonight, or the best meditation and wisdom you've brought into the temple that you've learned throughout your life. It's so precious and it's so powerful. And to really get the awesome benefits from it, it takes practice, daily or regularly. And I just invite you to just make some little dedication for yourself. If you're already meditating many times a week, maybe you want to dedicate, I'm going to meditate every day this month. Or maybe you would like to dedicate that you'll give yourself meditations in little moments. Or maybe you want to dedicate, there was those couple of good ideas today. I'm going to keep reminding myself of them and thinking of them until I know them in my bones. I'll just give you all a moment to think about what you'd like to dedicate. Feel the importance of what we learned and what we discussed. And it doesn't just benefit you. you will have more peace and ease and happiness for others. The way you think about things will be more empowering. The feelings you put out will make other people feel better. And ultimately, I hope we'll all be imagining the world as it's meant to be, the most liberating, wonderful, loving, happy world as possible. And as you become that person, you automatically pass that to others, and we're making that world. So I dedicate this session to your most amazing self, and to that spreading to everyone in your life. And in whichever way you relate to that or imagine that, I hope you also take a moment to make that same dedication. So thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure for me. I hope that there was many moments that were wonderful for you. I hope that the practices we had, you'll continue to grow them and cultivate them, and that their insights will be even more helpful for you than they were for me. I hope you come again. It was a real pleasure to share with all you.